Let me change my. Let me look at something real quick on my camera. Hold on. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted to do.
Okay.
Oops. Let's see. Oh no, okay, it's already done. It feels like I'm looking this way because I'm looking at you guys and my camera's over here. And I'm like, do I need to mirror it? What's going on here? But
I have to look down to see everybody or look up at my camera. I wish that I had I don't know how to fix that.
Let's see. Yep, we are. Okay, I wanted to make sure that it was showing.
Okay.
We are definitely live.
We're live. Yay.
Welcome, everybody. So excited about this one. Okay, so we are talking about J.T. Geisinger's new book, Liars Like Us.
Okay.
Who wants to start off with? Oh, yay.
Okay.
Yes. I have the discreet cover.
I was on the fence.
I love it.
I
kind of like it.
But I love that one, but I don't know that man on that front cover. He's
that man on that front cover is good. And if you go to her, was it her Instagram or no, her TikTok? She has more pictures of him.
Oh,
I sent one to Mandy last night.
Okay, I might have to. Because I was like,
it's like one, but it's because she had a few TikToks about the book, and so I was kind of when I first started reading it, I was trying to get myself excited, and so I took a screenshot of it. I sent to Mandy, and I'm like, okay, here he is. This is him. So,
Mr. Callum.
Here's
All right,
Callum.
so Amber, do you want to start?
Me? I was the one that think I don't know if I want to start because I feel like I'm gonna not be the popular opinion.
Do you want to skip you for a second?
I'll go.
Should we tell them what the book is actually about? Because it's a new book.
Yeah. Maybe me or
my bad.
No, I want to know what everybody thought of it first.
Okay.
I gave it 3.5 stars. So it didn't really work for me. After the Monsters and Queen series, it's like it had a lot of misses for me. I still think it's an enjoyable read. Like it's not horrible, but like I have a lot of issues with the book. And so I feel bad, but I was halfway through. I was like, maybe I'll give it a 4 stars. But like at the end, I'm like, no, this is a nice, I'm being nice, 3.5 stars. It had a lot of issues for me. So I don't know if you guys loved it because I saw a lot of 5 stars on Goodreads and I'm like, 5 stars?
I can't
so
wait.
I don't know.
What your issues were. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Who wants to go next, Mandy?
Okay. I loved it.
Okay. See, I knew it.
I knew she would. When I was reading it yesterday, I'm like, Mandy's going to love this.
It was a solid 4 stars for me, maybe even 4.5. I kind of was like, it's not really a 5-star because it's not one that I'm going to want to be like, ooh, I have to go back and read. But I did really enjoy it. It was definitely lighter than other books that I've read of hers, but it did still have, I didn't see the ending. Like, I didn't see that he had been, I don't know if we're giving spoilers away right now.
Totally spoilers.
I knew something would happen because it's J.T. Geissinger. And sometimes when I read her books, that like actually makes me too nervous. Like, where's like the big twist going to happen? And I read Bloody Valentine, and it has a little bit of a twist, but it wasn't very shocking. And so I was almost a little disappointed in that one. This one, I didn't see that he had been like orchestrating all these things. I had a feeling he was behind a lot of them, but not for 5 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, 4.5 stars for me.
3.5 stars for me.
Thank you.
There were parts where I skimmed it because I was so friggin' bored. Unlike Mandy, I could see the writing on the wall.
I think that's where we got that because I got it too, like right in the beginning, and I'm like, which I'll let you go. I'll tell you my issues later.
Yeah. So anyhow, so I did. There were parts that I really enjoyed because I did text Mandy last night a couple times, and I was like, oh, okay, finally, I'm enjoying a few things. There were some laugh out loud moments for me. There were a few things that were funny. I especially love the part where she talked about her and her best friend having to be old at the nursing home because Mandy and I talk about those things all the time, like being old and on rocking chairs at the house, scaring off the neighbor kids, reading our books. But there was as far as a J.T. Geissinger book for me, it missed the mark. I was waiting for it to be dark. So when I first picked it up and I started reading, I was like, where's the dark? Where is it? So I was kind of expecting, and I think I even called Mandy and I was like, this feels very rom-com-y. and I wasn't.
Yeah.
That's not what I was expecting of it. So it was 3.5.
It was definitely lighter, but she does write lighter books. She's not just all
Yeah.
No, but I was still expecting dark, or at least darker elements.
And I did think that he was behind it. I just didn't see that he had been behind it for 5 years, like that part.
Well, and I knew that probably because I had seen her TikTok, and her TikTok had said, "I've watched her for years."
Oh,
and so
well, and that's kind of how I took it too, because
Mhm.
the amount of stuff that he knew about her, the way he would read her mind, all these little like tidbits, I'm like, oh, he's been stalking her for like years.
Okay.
So I'm like, and manipulating the situation for years. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't know. That's what I viewed it as. So, but Jen, what did you think?
Okay, well, this was my first book from her. So
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. So I don't have anything to compare it to. And I was about to pick up Pen Pal, and there's like a couple other things that I want to read. I knew Pen Pal, I think it was like a standalone. So,
Yeah,
but I was like, no,
is.
I want this to be like my first
mm-hmm.
into her. So I mean, I liked it. I liked it. I mean, I laughed really hard. The shit sandwich. I mean, I was like on the floor. It was very predictable for me too, because I think it was like when they were in the first time that he took her to lunch, and he was like sarcastically says, "Baby, I've been watching you for years." And I was like, oh, he's been watching her for years. And I was like,
yeah.
no. And so like I kind of saw that coming, but I liked watching it unfold.
Mhm.
But like Jessica said, I thought it was going to be a little bit darker, because she even says he's morally gray. He is morally gray, but like when I think of a morally gray character, I think dark. I think
Yeah.
Zayd, or I think there's more darker elements, like a mafia or something like that.
Right.
I ended up giving it, I was on the fence between a 4 and a 4.5, because I had some questions still. Like, why didn't we meet his other brother? Why didn't I? And I get that it is the first book in a series, but we didn't meet his mom. There are still some questions about their relationship. Like what's going to happen with this secret society, because the brothers aren't supposed to know. And the next books are going to be like, the next book is going to be with, I think it's Colton's book, his brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was looking at that.
Yeah. So I was like, well, but am I going to get answers? So for that reason,
I didn't realize the series that she already had it. So I went totally in blind. So I had never seen anything. Jessica sent me that picture of him. That was the only thing I saw. I read the back, which it's not very detailed at all.
No, it's not.
So I knew, obviously, because it says Morally Gray series #1. I was thinking that the next one was going to be more about the secret society. So this is like the tamer version, kind of setting it all up, and then we jump right in. But no, we're going to go into brothers instead.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I only saw that after, because I was like you. I like to go in blind a lot of times. So I looked at it afterwards, and I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I'm going to dumb down my rating a little bit, because I don't know if we're going to get those answers, but but I wish there was a little bit more spice than there was. It was good, but
he can dirty talk
more.
Yeah, I was going to say
I wanted more.
I think there's quite a bit of spice, but I didn't care about it because I didn't connect to the characters, because he didn't have a POV. And I get why she didn't have a POV, because all the secrets and stuff, but I saw it from the very beginning. So if we would have had his POV, I would have been more connected to his obsession. Yeah. Why is he in love with her? Why is he obsessed with her? Why is he doing all these things? And you really don't get a lot of communication from him. So like, I don't buy it. Like that was my big problem, is like, if I got it from the beginning, even if you didn't like get everything, like the full 5 years or whatever, you could still do a POV, and he's giving little tidbits, she's done it before. And so I think that's where it fell apart for me, because if we would have had his POV, and we already know, okay, yeah, he is obsessed, he's psycho, because you kind of got that already. And then I would see his obsession more, because I honestly didn't feel their connection. So when you're doing butt play, I don't care, because, like all this stuff, the spice, I was kind of almost skimming it. I was like, oh, another sex scene. Like all they had was sex, and then him paying for all her shit, and her being not hating the money guy, but then all about taking his money.
Mhm.
That was kind of like how she was snobby towards the money, but then she was totally fine taking his black card and taking his cars and having him pay all the stuff. And so I was just like, so I really needed his POV so that I would care and feel like get his side. Because I didn't feel like she even loved him. And she just kind of was like, I didn't feel the connection. And so that's kind of, so I thought the spice was her usual good, like on top of it spice.
It was good. It was good. I
was
wanted
good.
But I didn't
more.
care.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
wanted more.
See, this is why I don't read reviews, because I'm so easily swayed by people. As you're saying these things, I'm like, you're right.
Yeah, he is right. I'm thinking the same thing, but I really like
I'm thinking back, and maybe I'm wrong, but like Pen Pal, Perfect Strangers, like most of her books that I've read have always been from the female character's point of view.
Well, the monsters, like, okay, because I think that's part of the problem is this is where like her real writing's at to me. And you have Declan's perspective in this. You have, like where, I don't know, it's just so much like the female character, of course, you can't pass Sloane. But I mean, like I don't know, her heroines were so much better in that series. I thought this girl was too over the top quirky. Like, I don't like the over-the-top, in-your-face, quirky heroine that people try to do, too. That kind of annoys me. So I'm like, oh, we're playing up the the quirky thing,
Yeah.
See, I
want to add to that after, but I noticed that we have some people here. So hi, thanks for joining us.
Hey guys.
Jessica.
When I first started it, Jessica was texting me, and she was like, "I'm on page 4, and I don't want to read this book." And
I was on chapter 4.
No. I'm gonna look. You were on a page. You had barely started.
There's a page.
Like, I just
don't
want to read
this. That is Apple's problem. I was on chapter 4, and there were other books I wanted to read. It didn't come off dark immediately, so I was like,
I had to reread the first 4 pages if we are going with 4, because I was like, wait a minute, what? Like, what's going on?
So what I was going to say is Jessica had texted me that. So then when I started it, I'm like, oh, dear God, this is not going to be another Ollie situation.
It's another heroine we don't like. I didn't hate her.
No, me either.
No, I didn't hate her. It was just that when it first starts out, and it starts out like, okay, we're in a bookstore, and there's this rival bookstore.
Yeah.
I was like, is this like Notting Hill or one of those movies, right? Like where you've got
You've got mail. Yeah.
One of those things. I'm like, what is this?
Sometimes too, I feel like authors are just playing up to their readers and like putting in kitschy stuff that like they know romance readers love. So we have a bookstore thing. And then the other thing that I love Outlander, I love Jamie Fraser, but we're going to constantly bring up Jamie Fraser. And this is our hero in this book. He could not touch Jamie Fraser. So I'm just like, can we stop bringing up Jamie Fraser? Because
so then she has the character, was it Killian? Was that his name? The one that's watching all the time?
Mm-hmm.
And so then I was like, okay, so what's the next book? And I was like, it's not the Irish Hottie. If it's not the Irish Hottie, I don't want to read it. That was kind of my thing.
Okay, see,
because wasn't he in a previous series?
Okay, I was going to say, wasn't he?
That's what I think he's in a previous series that I haven't read all her other series. So I think that might be it.
And I know she's that one.
Yeah. And I know she has some, like, she brought up some ties into like old characters. This might be like 4 books or something, but she doesn't know. And I think she brought up like stuff from other series is going to come in, like old characters. So I'm hoping the Monsters and Queens comes into it. So I'm not totally discounting the series.
Okay.
But I hope she has the man's POV in the next one. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I like the dual POV. I agree with you there. I see why she didn't, but I did. If you read the back of it, she said that if you've been a long time read of hers, then you might realize that some of these characters are trickling in, and her goal is to have something in the future, like maybe the near future, but not so near, where everything is tied together in this old, like in another world, like everything ties together. Like that's her goal.
So maybe we'll see Declan from Carnal Urges. I would love that, or any of Sloane. That'd be cool. So I'm looking forward to it. I still really like her writing. I it's very easy to get through her book. So that's why I gave it a 3.5 because it wasn't horrible. It just wasn't up to like her 5-star reads of like the Monsters and Queen series. Like every one of those has been fantastic. Jen, you have to read that series.
I will.
It's so good.
You have to read Pen Pal too.
I
still need to read that.
I didn't want to get. I didn't want to get like
series.
biased or anything, or them being like, oh, I don't like this because this is horrible. It's not like Pen Pal. I had it on my Audible. I was about to start listening to it, and then I was like, no, listen to Fallen Foes. Make this your first one of hers. So I listened to Fallen Foes. That one was disappointing too, by the way. Anyway,
read Pen Pal.
Okay,
and then just realize that everything else that you read is not going to be like Pen Pal.
Yeah.
Okay.
It has the ending's a little different, but it's still a happily ever after. So just read it.
Yeah, I actually watched the spoiler review that like where Jen from the Book Refuge did. So I know the whole book, even though like I probably shouldn't have done that. But I was so nervous seeing all the different reviews and reactions. So I actually watched hers as she does a whole vlog. So I kind of know what happens, but I still want to read it because
well, the audio came out recently. I mean, like within the last 6 months recently. So when I read it was last summer. Before anybody else, like it was, or we were camping, as I remember. So it could have been early spring. It was right when it first came out, and I read it before I'd seen any reviews. So I had no clue what was happening.
Yeah,
in this book scared the crap out of me because I get easily scared. I'm easily spooked. And then I was on the way home when I finally got cell service again. I was like, "Oh my gosh, Mandy, you have to read this." So that was the last J.T. Geissinger book that I've read. I read some of the Carnal Urges. I haven't finished all of those, but I've read some. So
I need someone to read Perfect Strangers so I can talk about it.
Perfect.
I have it. I'm just not doing it right now.
Which one is that by?
J.T. Geissinger.
Which one is that? Like, who's the character of that one?
Perfect Strangers is a complete standalone. I can't remember their names.
Because I'm trying to remember
his name. I was like,
got amnesia in it, doesn't it, Mandy?
No.
Oh, never mind.
It's Olivia and James.
Okay.
Olivia is an author and she had some tragic events take place. And so she just has major writer block. So she goes to Paris for the summer to like try and get her writing groove back. And she meets James.
Okay. I know it's on TBR. For sure.
I'll put on my TBR for like next month or something. So then we can discuss.
I know
please.
Like, should I read Pen Pal or should I read Perfect Stranger next month?
I honestly think you should read the Monsters and Queens one to see her mafia style. Because I think that's her best. Like I've read some of her previous stuff where it was like kind of like almost like a fake dating and engagement, like another arranged marriage thing where it was like, I think she was like a chef and I didn't really like it. So that's why I was kind of worried is maybe I only like the mafia J.T. Geissinger. I don't know.
See, I've read the first two in the mafia one, and then I've read Pen Pal. And the reason why I think Pen Pal is just so much better is I've never found anything like it.
Yeah, because it's so different.
It's so different. It's so unique. It's just so good. So I prefer Pen Pal over her. I mean, I love her mafia stuff too, but Pen Pal.
I think part of the reason people freaked out too is it's like they didn't want it market. They're like, you shouldn't market this as a romance because it's not got like the conventional
traditional
HEA.
But
so I think once they kind of changed how they promoted it, it did like a little bit. But it's more understandable. But when the people had the arcs, they were like losing their minds. Like after reading this book, like they're all mad and.
Yeah, but there's books like 1,000 Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole, which I refuse to read because I do not need that heartbreak in my life. But
I won't read it either. I'm I don't know if I can do it.
I won't read it. But that's marketed as a romance, and it does not have a traditional HEA either. It has a very similar HEA, actually.
Yeah.
So I refuse.
Don't give stuff away, Jessica.
I'm not giving anything away.
I don't want to know. I'm going in blind. I know that it's unconventional and not traditional. But I'm going in blind with that.
I do it.
Like things
go in blind. Don't be like me.
Yeah. I kind of like things better when I go in blind, though. I get people voices.
I kind of went in blind on this one, which I don't usually. I'll read a lot of reviews before reading a book. I'm bad at that. Like I'll try not to read spoiler ones, but I went in blind on this one. Like I honestly just thought it was like, oh, another billionaire like like competing like business romance. That's all I thought it was. Like I didn't really think it was going to be, you know, an over the top possessive stalker type. So that is, I like that. But I think like a lot of the stalker like psycho books that I read, it's like you get their perspective on like what they've been doing, what, you know, like why they're doing it, why they're obsessed with her. And that's kind of just the little that I was missing in this book, where, you know, I would have cared more.
Yeah, I think
I was thinking about that
what we're used to. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
I actually thought when he tells her how they met and she like did the whole dramatic, like, you would rather have rotten cabbage thrown on you while you walk naked down the street. I thought it was going to have the twist then at that point where he was like actually not doing this because he really liked her, but as some sort of revenge plot. And the way her dad's death kept getting brought up throughout the book, I thought that there was going to be a connection with that as well. So when it just was just like, oh, I've been following you for 5 years and made your life slightly difficult so I can now make your life everything you've ever wanted. That's the part that I was like, I kind of expected it to be a little different. So when it wasn't, I was a little thrown by that.
Yeah, there are like all these like little hint things that didn't pan out to anything. It's like, okay, and I think that was her trying to throw you off as a reader, but then you're like, well, like I already knew what was happening. And so now that all that stuff doesn't really add up to anything to me. Like it's just kind of
well, for me, I was curious. I was like, well, what about, I want that story. Like, give me a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, and then too, I was pretty bored until the wedding, and then he gets her in the limo, right? Then the dirty talk happens, and I was like, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
Immediately. And he's like, I gotta go. I'm like, but where you go? Wait, where are you going?
Yeah.
Good. You know, I was, So
I appreciated that she put up like, that she didn't just go, oh my gosh, you're going to give me $10 million and I can save my bookstore. Yay. Like a lot of books tend to do with this, where she actually was like, this has to be a joke. And she goes and talks to her friend about it. And I'm like, this is much more realistic of what would actually happen than what happens in a lot of books. So I really like that you set that up, even though it took a while to get somewhere with it.
It was like 30% and we're still arguing about doing this. I'm like, okay, I'm getting bored. Like, when are we going to get to the marriage? I did like how she listed all the issues, you know, like, okay, well, you obviously haven't been taking care of your money if you're going to lose. And so I liked how she was smart about it, you know, and called him on his shit a lot. So I liked that, that she didn't just blindly go in.
Yeah, her snarky banter, like I really enjoyed it, because I was like, if this is going to be another Ollie situation, and I couldn't remember her name, I was like, I'm going to throw a damn fit if we cannot get a win here. But I think her snarky behavior and the banter that they had, like, it was warranted. And it, even though it could have gone over the top sometimes, like for me, I appreciated it, because I'm like, dude, yes, call him on his shit.
It worked.
Yeah.
We loved that she was calling it. So.
I think that's a fine line that she's lucky that, you know, I think it's easily crossed.
Yes.
Because had it gone just a little bit more this way, she would have been obnoxious. But it worked. It worked for this book, and it worked for this character.
Yeah.
She was part of the reason why I was laughing so hard. Just their banter with each other and the things she would say to him. It was pretty, there was some
that shit sandwich, dude. He was like, did you just give me a shit smeared sandwich? And I'm like, oh my God, I love her.
That's awesome.
Were we all just slightly nervous though when the dad showed up and there was like, how did you meet? Were we all like a little worried that there was going to be a donkey story again?
Oh my God.
Oh God. No. I didn't think she was that stupid. This girl actually has a brain, not like whatever her name was.
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I do have to say,
I did think it was annoying. Oh, go ahead, Jess.
Oh, I was gonna say, out of the 3 books that we've read, this one by far is the favorite at this point.
Oh, definitely for me.
Yeah. So what are we gonna say?
Oh, I was going to say, I did kind of get annoyed where I was like, he's so obsessed and wants her and did all this to get her to marry him. And then he didn't want to even introduce her to his family. And so I was like, what? Like, that should be, and we didn't even really get to meet a lot of his family. And so there was just a lot of up in the air about that. And I loved how he like literally was like, oh, we don't have to have sex. You could sleep in a different room. And then they get in the car and he's already like, we're going to F. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, wait, how'd that change? And he's constantly kicking her out of the guest bedroom and taking her in his room. It's like that. You said we didn't have to have sex.
It was
Mhm.
all a
So-
ploy just to get her. All a ploy. I love that. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. And I love that he didn't leave her in there. He would go get her and be like, no. Where, you know, you get some books where there's like, they get married and there's this big gap between when they have sex and when they don't.
Yeah.
Or when they don't.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I ain't playing this game. And he just go get her and bring her in. And I'm like, okay.
Like when he came right back home from his trip and like basically took her and
yes.
we're doing this now. Like he didn't wait, like, you know, to get things started.
Nope.
Because at first I was like, oh, we're going to draw out the first sex now because he had to go on this trip. I was like, let's get to it.
Be like Mr. Granville here, and then something bad is going to happen. And I'm
keep going and going and going.
Well, that's the thing too, is in books, I always am like preparing for the third act breakup. Like I always feel, and I'm like, wait, how are they going to have a third act breakup when she doesn't even really love him or care about him? It's just about like, it honestly felt about the sex and whatever. They haven't told each other they love each other. And then she's going to have the big reveal and like have the breakup. So that's kind of where it disconnected for me. I'm like, I don't even feel like she really was all in as much as he is, because he's been into her for years. And I don't.
But you don't know that until the very end.
Yeah, I'm just like
how deep he is. So you're just waiting for that. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because
and the fact that, and the fact that she can't get a divorce.
I know.
Yeah.
I was like, that is so smart.
So smart. I was like,
so did the three of you all know right away then that he did not have to have her marry him? Like, I bought that story because it's been.
I like knew right away. I'm like, he has money. Like he has money. He's willing to pay her $10 million, and then he keeps upping it for like little things where she's like, if you don't get out of me, away from me right now, it's another 10 million. He gives her the 10 million. Like I could tell like, oh, okay, her apartment thing was lucky for him, but like the friends, like, you know, husband losing the job, the people calling, the lawsuits. I'm like, this is all him. Like, it's so, to me, it was like, okay, it's all him. One thing that annoyed me too was like, if I had a best friend who, the guy that was obsessed with her and stalking her was, you know, got my husband fired, all that kind of stuff, like did all these things to get her and manipulate her. I want to be like, oh, but he loves you. You should be with him. Huh? Like, what the hell? Like you would be telling your best friend, run, like, unless you want just the money, but I mean, she already was set now with all that money.
And he got a new job that was double the salary that he really liked.
I know.
Although so maybe she didn't want to jeopardize that.
Yeah, she wants her husband to keep that job.
Yeah, she does. I was waiting though when they called him and when she called her best friend and said, hey, call your husband and have him look into these corporations. I was waiting for crap to go down. Like I was waiting for like that to flag something to be. I was waiting for a little more dark to come in at that point in time, but no.
I was waiting for him to capture her and do a capture captive.
Yes, I'm like, let's do. Oh yeah,
which he did said he would. He said he would do if his plan wasn't working. So
that was my next. That was my next.
I knew he was behind it from the get go. Like I could see the writing on the wall when she was like, "Oh, the lawyer called or this person called." And they all this is practice, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, he's so doing that." But then the whole like. When they were getting married and he was freaking out needing her to sign that stuff, that's when the light bulb went on and I'm like, oh, this has nothing to do with inheritance. I mean, like I knew that he wanted her, but like at that point that was the confirmation of he doesn't have to marry her.
Well, and like you could see how much power, it was a little fake and over the top, the power that he had. But then when it relates to 13, that was kind of over the top to me, but it's okay in a book. But like when he's having a cop pull her over from like Uber and all this kind of stuff, and all these people were like doing things for him, that's not normal things people do just for a billionaire. Like, so I was like, is mafia going to come into this? Like, that's what I was thinking at first. Cause I'm like, this is like a mafia guy that has police on the payroll, not like a billionaire that has a media conglomerate, you know, like it. So I get the 13 now, but I mean, seeing that kind of power, I was like, well, if he has that kind of power, he's doing all this stuff to her. Like, and so
I totally thought he was behind all that stuff, but I still believed that he needed her to marry him just because I've read books like that before where the person is like a billionaire, but it's like family money, so he can't actually access it without meeting those conditions. So to me,
I
that
think
did
that's
make
why
sense.
she did that too, because there's been books like that. So then we would just assume like, oh, it's
Mhm.
like a million other books we've read where he he actually needs the money to file within these stipulations of like the will or something. So I think that's kind of helped her in that way. But like I kind of didn't think he needed the money, and especially when like he didn't want her to talk to his dad and all that stuff. You were like, oh, he doesn't want her to find out. Like he's not, his dad seemed like super nice and the opposite of what he told her, you know. You're like, okay, for sure now. I mean, I knew, but I knew for sure there. I was like, he's fine.
Okay, so she said, okay, so first of all, any girl who has ever watched 50 Shades of Grey or has read the book knows that when you find rope like that, like she found in his drawer, what that rope is for. If you're finding soft, multicolored rope, you know what that's for. But then in the end, what do you mean you're not tying her up? That's not
But it wasn't his. All that stuff was Killian's.
I know, but
it was
what's Killian
Killian's
doing with BDSM rope? Because that is BDSM rope, okay?
Yeah,
and why does Killian leave rope? Like I get leaving your like your
guy stuff, but
passport
rope?
and your gun, but rope? Was he mountain climbing?
rope.
Like
And you have a woman at home. What are you doing? Because he said, like,
maybe your minds are all in the gutter and it's strictly rope for doing his job.
For his criminal stuff. Well, that's what I'm saying. Every girl would have their mind in the gutter. Even if you're not in BDSM, you'd be like, oh my God, this guy's into like kink.
Look.
Yet she's so easily like, I'm sorry, but I always am shocked when like there's ass play in books and it's like it's nothing to the chick. It's like another day going up there. I'm like, has she done this multiple times before? Like,
yeah, she was.
I mean, let's do some preparation.
Yeah, I don't know why it's needed in every book. I personally don't need it. So I'm kind of like,
in every book
into that. Huh?
Every book lately. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I also feel like it follows a formula now. Like where it's like usually it's like the multiple sex, the oral, then the sex, and then it's like, oh, now I'm training her to get ready. I'm gonna give her a butt plug, and these like things, you know. It's like I feel like that's in every book now because we got to take it to the next level. And I'm like, not everybody wants to do that. I'm just speaking for me, but I don't.
That's when I tend to be like, okay, I don't need this same. Thank you. I'll just skim right on through because it's not my thing. I don't need it. I get it. For some it is, but for me, I'm like, I don't need that.
Well, and my biggest pet peeve is when they do it and it's like, it's nothing. It's like, it's a lot of prep work, like it's stuff to do. Like I hate it when they don't have lube or they don't, you know, like they're not doing the before. It's like, that's so unrealistic. Like,
Yeah. Spit is not going to work, people. Okay.
Yeah. If you spit and do, or they use, you know, the other stuff. I'm like, no, like.
I just really hope my kids have gone and done something else and are not still standing at the door waiting for me to be done.
Oh yeah. Well, I can hear my husband out in the hallway talking to the kids. So.
Oh, we're not talking about anything inappropriate or anything.
Not giving him ideas or anything. No. Especially because here's the other thing too. In all these romance books, these guys are hung like donkeys. Okay.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Every guy is huge. I'm like, man, where do you find all these?
You're not going near that area. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna take a lot of prep, not just like a couple minutes of prep, a couple days of prep.
Yeah.
And then recovery.
Yeah. And then we're not going to do that tomorrow because recovery is a thing. Yeah. No.
Well, at least she wasn't a virgin and they did it like 10 times in one night.
Yeah. That always drives me nuts. I'm like, you're a virgin, you do it one time and you're like sore. They're like, oh, she's sore, I need to recover. And it's like gives her an hour and then you're doing it. I'm like, no, like you're sore for like a day or two, a couple days that you're not.
And here's the deal. These authors are typically women, married women. So they know that. Like you've been there. They know that.
Well, the one thing with the virgin thing that always bugs me, unless you're reading like your female character is like 18, 19, like if they're already 20 or on older, and then usually they're just giving it up to this random guy. Like, it's like, but they held on to their V card for so long, and now all of a sudden you just swoop in, and like, I get that maybe they're trying to show the intensity of like this
Their
connection,
connection.
but it just seems weird to me. I get it if your female character is 18, 19, but 20 on up, it just seems like they would have had way more opportunities than just that.
Yeah.
Unless your storyline is that for whatever reason your hero is now this age and is still a virgin, and she just wants to like get that out of the way because it hasn't happened, then that kind of makes a little more sense. But this just random, like, met you at the bar and
Yeah.
my virginity.
And that's the thing too, is like when they had no experience and then you go in and you're already doing stuff that's like way beyond like they'll be doing the butt play like within a couple times. And I'm like, you gotta like be with somebody and be more intimate and get to know them more than just go right to that. Or they're like, it's like the sex is insane and they're doing all these crazy positions. Like you were just a virgin, like you and you're just gonna jump in like
That's not how it works.
Agreed.
Don't buy it. And then my opinion where I get irritated with the constant how her nipples are hard, oh, they're like I'm like, how many
cutting glass? Yeah.
I'm like, I can't, it's my biggest pet peeve. I'm like, I don't want to hear about how like if I wasn't wearing a bra, I'd be like cutting through this shirt. And I'm like, what?
Some people must have
so
way more reactive nipples than I do.
I'm like, I've never felt that in my life. I don't.
Look, some of us don't even have nipples, okay? But when I did, they didn't do that either. That's just, I mean.
Yeah. I'm like, that's not the first thought I have when I get turned on by a guy. I'm like, oh my God, my nipples. Like, I've never done that.
We talked about this last time. Oh, my boobs
yes.
get heavy. Like, really? They don't swell. They don't get heavy. No.
The pet peeves in romance books.
I know. There's so many of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad this was a better read for us. I was getting
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was worried. I'm like, I really wanted to be a 5-star read, but I was like, I can't. I gotta be honest and give it my actual rating. But I mean, I still had a good time. It just wasn't up to my, JT Geissinger standards. I think that's probably what it is.
Yeah, I agree. I kind of hemmed and hawed between the 3.5 and the 4.
Yeah, that's me too.
But when I skimmed, I would just skim certain pages and be like, okay, anything important here? Nope. Okay, next page. That's probably doesn't deserve a 4. But I did like it. I did enjoy it. I did laugh at a lot of parts. I did.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't a waste of my time. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
But it was better.
I don't know.
We're on the right path. Like
we are.
And
if nothing else, this cover is really nice.
Gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, I do. I usually don't like the discrete covers, and I actually really like that, because I mean, usually I have to have the man on the cover, and I actually like that one.
So for Mother's Day, my husband got me a box from that bookshop that Mandy and I talk about all the time. Like the mystery box, and it had like 12 or 13 books in it, and one of them is Megan Quinn's book, the one that's in the series of The Right Man, Right Time, or whatever it was we read, and it's the one just before that. And I was like,
no thanks.
I talked to a girl at Love in Seattle though who really likes Megan Quinn, and she did not like that book. She's like, the other books in that series were really good, that one just sucked.
Yeah.
So I think it might have just been that book.
Yeah. Okay. So
maybe.
Jessica wants to know what we're gonna read next.
I don't know.
We should probably talk about that.
We should maybe read a mafia one. I'm always trying to go to the mafia.
I'm always dark. I read.
Oh, that's just. Oh gosh, what? I'm so embarrassed. I thought you were talking about yourself in third person.
How we feel about third person. I would never do that.
Jessica wants to know.
I even said, I was like, Jessica, and then Jessica was like, Jessica wants to know.
Oh, Mandy, I love you.
Oh my God,
so
you're turning bright red.
Well, it's already hot in here, and I'm red, and Mandy's all red. It's just not good.
I don't know, Jessica. Do you have any suggestions for us?
like a trope or
Yeah.
kind of an author or anything.
Because we've been looking for more like new releases, but
we could always read an older one or I just discovered Jagger Cole. I like never read him before, and I got the arc for his new release, and so I read the 2 books. So I literally read 1, 2, 3 like back to back, and I really liked it. Like,
so I was just telling Mandy that I got an email from Kay Webster this week, and so have you guys read The Wild yet?
Yes.
Okay.
I think we should reread The Wild.
Dude, their 3rd book in that series is coming out. It goes to the editor. It went to the editor. I think it goes to the editor tomorrow, she said, and then it will be out. Like,
I haven't read the 2nd book yet. I have it on my bookshelf, and I still haven't read it. Yeah. So I'm like, we could always do that, but I think you have to read The Wild first, obviously.
I think you have to read The Wild first because I think this is one of their kids.
Okay. Though, like this is both books, and it looks long, but if you look at it, it's really not.
They're short.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, at some point that would be fun
because this is how big it is. Yeah, like the 2nd book is like that.
Yeah. I think it would be fun to read that when it comes out. We don't have a date yet, but it would be because that's going to be another controversial book because it even says it's like The Wild. If you have she said something about it. I don't know, Mandy, I sent it to you. I can't pull it up, but it had that same thing. It will be taboo. It will be.
You did send it to me.
Very
yeah, I'm really excited for that because I didn't know she was ever going to do like another one in the series. So I'm excited. I love Kay Webster and her taboo. Like she's amazing.
I'll get the arc for that. So I'll have
the book goes to the editor June 12th. She does not know any more details though.
Yeah. June 12th.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you guys already read the Cora Riley one, right? I think Jen did, right?
Yeah, it's Dangerous Innocence. I read it. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't read it yet.
That was a good one. That was a good one, Katie.
Yeah.
It was all right. I would say it was all right. It was all right.
I watched your review on it. I mean, that's not going to stop me from reading it. So, but
I want to read more. I have a feeling like I want to see if it progresses, but like I know that the 2nd book is going to be, I think, about her sister, and I was done with her sister. So I was like, oh, and I was like thinking about, I mean, like I don't like her sister, whereas like in what was it, Praise. So Bo was like just a little dick, like he was such an asshole, but in his book he gets that redemption, and I'm just like, I don't care to see a redemption of this crazy issue.
I've never seen Cora do a redemption story. If I'm thinking, like, none of them have. No,
we definitely know there's no redemption for Savio, right?
No, he just
remember my. I don't need to go on that rant again.
No, he just got a book, so. Yeah. I don't know. So there's.
I mean, I'll read it. I'll read more.
We need to.
So I don't think we can do that one because Jen already read it
recently.
But I mean, I don't know if you guys are in the mafia mood, or if we want to go like a pure mafia book, or just look for another because I don't know when. I really want to do the Kay Webster one since that's taboo, but we don't really know when that's coming out. So
yeah, and when that comes out, let's plan on just reading it together, and I'll get the information before everybody else because I'm part of her group. So I'll let
you get the arc, right? So you'll have to read it like right away, anyways.
Yeah, but typically I only get the arc like 2 weeks before it releases, so I don't get it in a huge amount of time before. So we'll figure that out together and do that.
Okay.
Yes, QB Tyler does have a new book coming out.
I'm planning on reading that right when it comes out.
Yes. So when does that one come out?
It's like in a week, I think, right?
Okay.
June 15th.
Or 5 days or something.
June 15th, you said?
Yeah. Yeah. And then Pam Godwin has some stuff coming out, but she hasn't given dates yet.
Yeah, I've not seen anything. Like I noticed I got her newsletter, but I'm like, what about the dates?
Yeah, and I think what is being told, something about she wants audio to come out at the same time. So yeah, everybody's saying QB Tyler has another one coming out.
So we could, I was planning on reading it right away. But if we want, I don't want to wait. Because then we'd have to wait till like next month to read her, or we could read it now and then just do our live then, but it'd be too kind of far apart.
Yeah.
Because I want to read that right when it kind of comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And we always do our things a month out.
mhm.
Yeah, we need to look and see what we want to do.
I'm trying to think of what.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, like, I think that Jagger Cole's next book should be coming out soon too, but I think it might be like August or something, so it's not going to be
There's
right
one
away.
supposedly coming June 15th, Sinful Hearts.
From
I
who?
don't
That's
think
the one
I've
I
read-
just read. Yeah, I read the
Oh,
arc
okay.
for that one. And then, so I was thinking, oh, the next one probably is going to come out pretty soon, but I don't know when that, I forgot to look when that was.
Neva Altai has another one coming out, but that's end of July, I think.
Yeah, that one is July. It's the 7th book
Yeah.
from.
And I still need to catch up on that series too. I've only read a couple.
I read them all this last month. So
Yeah.
I'm
catching up on them too. I think that is going to be probably next month. I want to do that, or I don't know.
Yeah. So, but I think that date, I want to say it's after.
We can always do
A non-mafia, or like the Candy Steiner one coming out, maybe.
I was gonna say we can always do like a backlist item too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That we just all haven't read.
Or that we don't mind rewrite.
Yes, Megan. Yes.
Ooh, the
That was
anti-hero.
the one that I was going to tell you guys about. It's
That's
the
supposed to be
first
her
series.
next new series, right?
Yeah, the Good Brothers.
Is it tied to the Salacious Players Club one,
Kind
or
of.
is it different?
No, but like it is kind of funny because like, he's like a preacher in Texas or something, or his
Mhm.
His
father is a
kids.
preacher. Yeah, his father is
Yeah.
a preacher in Texas, but then he realizes like he's following his father's footsteps, and then realizes that his father is a part of this big kink organization. And I'm like, so I mean, yeah,
Comes out
Maybe
July
it's like
14th.
the expansion, how they expanded it or something. Maybe I don't know.
maybe it'll be like he's a part of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do we
he's a
want to
part of
pick our
the-
date, and then that could help us figure out what we
Are
want?
we
I
doing
think
the third weekend again or whatever?
I think this month we're second weekend, right?
But that's
Yeah,
Father's Day
because
next
of,
week.
For Father's Day or whatever.
Yeah.
I think I will be gone the third weekend in July.
So we could do the second weekend again or whatever.
I would be here the second weekend, the 9th.
What's the date on the second weekend?
The 9th.
Yeah, I think we go camping the following weekend.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to be gone the third weekend too.
Oh wait, I think I'm going out of town that weekend.
Okay.
I have to figure it out. Yeah, I think I'm going out
I
of
think
town.
I'm going out of town the weekend before. Oh wait, we're talking about July. Yeah, the weekend before.
Okay. Well, we can figure this out.
Oh wait,
together.
I got to figure it out. I can't
Yeah.
remember the date.
And then make an announcement. But we
Yeah,
will do
so
more
those
July.
are some good ones. We could definitely do the anti-hero. Well, that comes out on the 14th, so it would have to be after. But yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that
We
one.
could do the anti-hero or look into a backlist, like Mandy was saying. We could always look into something, older. I mean, there's a million mafia
So
romances
many.
out there.
That's something
So-
we all haven't done before.
I'm sure we can find something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've read a lot, but I think we can find something.
Mm-hmm.
We'll look and then we'll make an announcement. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to continue the 5 Points Mafia right now, but you guys wouldn't want to come into the middle of that. Like I've been reading it where it like Serena Ackroyd, where it like the MC and the Mafia, the 5 points are like tied together. So I'm reading it in that order, and there's a lot, so it's taking.
Yeah, no,
me a
I
while.
have them. They're all on a shelf here down below.
Oh, cool.
So I need to finish them up too. But yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, good. Well,
Have any of you guys read the Gianna Darling Mafia one, the duet or whatever? I know you guys probably wouldn't want to read a duet then for the book.
I
haven't
tried.
read the
I need
duet.
to go back and try it again. I couldn't get into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to finish the Fallen Men before I got to the duet, but
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
so many books,
I don't
so little time. We'll make a list and we'll do another vote.
Yeah.
Another spinning thing.
Yeah.
I am not touching the names though, okay? Because every time I do, it's a book nobody likes. So we're gonna put it in the system. Somebody else will do it. So Mandy makes fun of me all the time. She's like, "You're not allowed to touch the books." So yeah.
This is fun. We are in the right. I'm glad that we're chugging to the right
We
path.
are. We're doing
Yeah.
better. doing great.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get that 5-star.
Yep. So, what's everybody reading right now?
I am reading the Reckless by Elsie Silver. So that's what I'm reading right now.
Yep.
I just finished Beautiful Disaster. I literally has been on my shelf for over a decade.
Wait, so who's the author of that
He's flipping a phone in the, opening his flip phone in the book.
His flip phone.
Right, yeah.
Who's the author of that one? That is
Jamie Maguire.
Jamie Maguire, yep.
They just made a movie about it. Yeah, and I was like,
They did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Wait, did you guys...
I loved that. I love that book. I was thinking about buying it.
I mean, they kind of irritated me because I'm like, oh, this back and forth with you two is
it's like a toxic romance kind of thing.
I kind of liked it, so
yeah.
Did
you guys see that Kate Stewart made the announcement about Dominic's book?
What?
I haven't read Kate Stewart.
Wait.
Okay. Yes.
What?
So
I haven't read the plot.
Any spoilers away?
I'm not giving any spoilers.
You can't.
Mandy, no spoilers. There's going to be a book. It was going to be a prequel about another rainy day with Dominic. It was just going to be this short novella prequel. Then she came out this week, within the last day, and said it's actually going to be a full-length book. And it's going to start off a series of other characters from the Ravenhood series.
I'm going to start crying. No.
I know. I know.
I don't know if I want to read that because it kind of feels like how a lot of people felt about the third one and how they're like it wasn't necessary. And so I almost wonder if that's gonna.
Yeah, it was. It was gonna be a novella and it's gonna be a book. I'll probably read it. Just because.
Yeah, Beautiful Disaster. They have 2 other books with it, and I'm kind of interested in that now because they wrapped up the first one pretty well, but
yeah. So Mandy, what are you reading right now? Oh, you just finished this book.
I finished this moments before this started.
See, I don't have anything right now. I need to pick one of my books. I might go into Powerless or something, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I'm really liking Reckless, so I'm liking it way better than Powerless, and I'm only 20% in. So I'm feeling pretty positive about it. I was really bummed because I wanted to get the arc and I didn't. But it's kind of hard with her. She's beloved now.
Good. Okay.
And I'm reading Grace McGinty's Paper Heart. So she goes to this place. She's a web designer, and she goes to California and can't get a job. She was going there to go to school, and the school wasn't there when she gets there. So she gets hired by these 3 guys who basically have a they walk around naked and do things naked, and the camera's on them all the time.
It's like a nudist thing.
I don't know, what are those websites? Like a cam website.
Like a cam girl.
Oh my god!
And so they hire her to be their PR the person that edits and does all their stuff. So it's hilarious.
This is weird.
Yeah.
I've never heard of a book like that before.
And this is not her norm kind of writing or kind of.
I've never read her before.
I love her.
I'm going to discover some new authors with you guys.
Yep.
Jessica can talk about Grace McGinty. That's why we had to implement our 1-minute book recs.
That's exactly why we have those. Man, but you guys have seen it. I'm not the problem, Mandy.
Once we got the timer in, you really controlled yourself. But before that, there's a video in 10 minutes is just Jessica talking about sticks and stones. It's very detailed. She's basically retelling the whole story.
Yeah. I couldn't do a 1-minute review. I can't do it. I talk too much. I ramble. I'm not going to be able to keep it to a minute.
We put that in there because you've got the so on any given week we're talking about 15 to 20 books. And that's a lot of books. And so they were our reviews were an hour. And so we got to that point where we're we have to do something. And so Mandy's let's time ourselves. And we did it. And it was wow, this works. Because you get the important things out right away. So, yeah. And then, okay. So this week, I don't know if you guys, you haven't seen yet. I read Captive by Lauren Deal. Have you seen that going around?
I read it and I didn't like it.
I liked it.
I thought it was I don't know. I didn't. Everybody, like, I've seen really great reviews for it, and I don't know. I thought it was a little over the top.
It was a little gross. There was times when I couldn't eat while reading.
Yeah,
it.
it was so over the top, and I'm like, okay, this is like getting ridiculous to me.
I think I gave it 4 stars. I didn't give it 5, but I was like, ugh. There's a few other books that she has though that I want to read. So, because I liked her hitchhiker one. So,
Chantel Tesser, is she the one that does The Ritual?
Yes, I just read that too.
I need to read that. Oh dang, I was like, we could read The Ritual.
I just read that.
I haven't read anything by her. Somebody that I need to.
And I've been having that on like my Kindle forever, like on my TBR. I've been wanting to read it, and I just keep putting it off. The other one that I kept putting off is The Words by Ashley Jade or whatever, like a Jade. I think it's on there. But
that's a good book.
We could read Sophie Lark's new one for next month.
Oh,
maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't read a Sophie Lark book in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't read the last one that she did, the Anastasia. I never read it.
We have it. Sandy and I both have it. I read it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a long one.
It seems like a winter book to me, so I'm keeping it for winter. So I'm like I don't know. There's so much. There's so much.
I know.
What is the name of Sophie Lark's new book? Is
it
already out?
Minx.
Minx. I think.
Yeah. The other one that's coming out too is
yes, 5 stars for sure.
Yeah. Emily McIntyre has a new one in her Mafia series where there's
that comes out on August 1st.
Okay, so we could do that maybe in August, because that one is the Hunchback of Notre Dame retelling.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But her stuff's always Mafia. I mean, it's a retelling, but it's set in our world and it's Mafia typically.
Yeah. You know, I've only read Hooked, so I need to read the other ones too. I really want to. I keep meaning to. I think I signed up for that arc, but I don't know if I'll get it. But
I read the first 3, so I need to read the next. There's one more that's out, the 4th one.
Twisted. Twisted. I think that was the last one that came out.
Yeah, I read the one that was
Aladdin.
That was Wizard of Oz was the last one that I read. But she is battling breast cancer right now.
Yeah, I see that when I follow her. Like, I'm like, man, she's going through a lot. Like,
so I was like, buy the books, support the girl,
support her.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, that one. This one, I'm really excited about. The last one, Twisted. It was good. It wasn't my favorite, but it was good. There was just more that I wanted. But I'm really interested in this one. So
yeah, I've heard that Anastasia is really slow. Like, I've heard mixed things, so that's why I was kind of scared going in. I think it's like 700 something pages long too, so it's a thicker book. And I heard, I think people were upset because it wasn't full romance. You know, like it's more her foray into like fantasy kind of stuff, and so I think it wasn't like heavy on the romance, so people were upset about that. But
656 pages, but this is kind of a bigger book than your
like it's bigger than her usual. Like, her older ones were thinner, and then like she went to the air, like the Kingmakers, it started to get bigger, and then that one was a lot bigger than her other one.
So said that it wasn't like her. This is something that she was trying. This is a different area.
Yeah.
She said that.
Yeah, and it's like going with those expectations. It ain't gonna be like her usual thing. So very little romance. I kind of feel like that's what you kind of have to expect when you go into some fantasy, like that big series that Carissa Broadbent or whatever. I read the first book. I listened to an audiobook. I wish I would have kind of read it, because there's so many different names and you know how it gets deep into like the world building. And I was like listening to it at work, and I'm like, I'm not retaining a lot of this because I'm at work. So like that had like barely any romance in it, the first book, but it was good. Like, it was still a good fantasy. So I think like, you know, some of those fantasies are going to have a little bit of a romance into it, but
supposedly the new Rebecca Yarros is like it's fantasy, but it's supposed to be amazing. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Fourth wing.
Yeah. I have the book coming. I have it on its way here, but I haven't read it yet. I'm waiting for the audio. It'll be out later this month. So, because I can't. I have to listen to that kind of thing. So, Yeah.
So
Yeah,
do you
so
think
we'll
we
get
want to do the Sophie Lark one for next month?
Well,
Or
it
we'll
has to
talk
be
about it and do
find
an
it.
announcement?
I couldn't find it. I tried looking it up and I could not find it. I went to her website.
Well,
But she announced it on, like, I just saw her, like, on Instagram. She kept putting, like, multiple posts on Instagram and, like, release date. And it, like, said, I think, the end of this month or something, which I was shocked by that. I didn't think it was coming out that fast.
So we'll look at that and see,
Yeah.
and then we'll make
Yeah.
a decision.
yeah, and we'll post it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get that out.
So
You guys can
Yeah.
read along. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Good deal.
Cool.
All right. Anything that we want to, any closing arguments?
No, I think it was better. I'm glad I don't feel so bad now that I thought I'd be like the only 3.5 stars. So I'm happy.
No, you're not alone. It's all good.
I do gotta say though, when I watched your guys' book boyfriend thing, when Mandy did the wild, I was like, whoa, I didn't expect her to pick that. Like,
Yeah,
I'm like,
me
oh, that's
too.
cool. Like, I
That's
love
like a
that
me
book.
pick.
And then when she started laughing, I was like, oh my God, I totally fell for that. Like, I was like, oh, that's shocking. I thought that'd be more of your pick, Jessica.
Yes, which he
Mandy.
is. He is on my toxic book boyfriends list, which is a whole other video that we'll do at some
I
point.
guess we need to do that. Like, we need to do like our bad book
We do.
boyfriends, because some of mine are bad. Like, I tried to put some good in there, you know, because most of the guys I like are, you know,
Well,
I
then
want to
when
put
we were-
Carter Mahoney on the list, but
I
can you
know.
put Carter Mahoney on the book
when we were writing the lists out, I called Mandy and I was like, all right, my messenger was like, we need to have a toxic book boyfriends list because everybody I want to put on this list is toxic, and
Yeah.
they're not very good book boyfriends, but they're what I would want.
I mean,
Yeah, I
we
have lots of
didn't
mafia men, you know, like, why do I?
Yeah.
We
What
didn't
do I really-
specify, though. We didn't specify.
No.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna tell you, I like Zayd. I don't know. That's just something about
Oh, Zayd is like top shelf.
something
You
about
guys,
that
I
book
gotta
boyfriends.
finally do that reread, I guess. I'm gonna put it on my TBR for next month because I think I'm gonna do a vlog reread of Haunting Adeline to like give myself another try, because
Try it. Yes, I think
I gotta try it
so
again.
I do think we need to do our toxic book boyfriends list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be fun.
I mean, anything to talk about more boys. I mean,
Why not, right?
why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Mandy's over there going, do I have any toxic?
Yeah.
What?
Hey.
I know she had all the dreamy guys, and then Jessica had all the like messed up guys.
I had realistic book boyfriends.
Okay.
I tell my husband
I know, I
all
couldn't-
the time, I like a bad boy. I do like a bad boy. But as a
Mhm.
married woman, I want a reformed bad boy. My
Yeah.
husband is a reformed bad boy, minus tattoos, because the man will not get tattoos. But still, he's a reformed bad boy. It's a thing. I need the bad boy. I didn't
Oh,
know that he
good.
was bad before I came along.
Megan ordered.
I'm glad you're
Wild
ordering
Food.
Wild and Free.
Yes.
I think that could be something we could always do that too,
Just
is
do
just
that
like
together.
reading those together and kind of
Wow.
discussing like taboo romance or
I
something. We could do
Just
that.
before the next one
Would
came
love to talk about it. I don't want to give anything away, but I have like some very specific comments.
on.
Megan,
I
don't
know.
give anything else. I haven't read
know.
them, so
No, I won't
no.
say a word.
Yeah. So Megan, we want to know what you think about it when you actually watch it or read it though, because it's good. I think we could do that at some point in time. We'll have to have to discuss that. We'll have to discuss that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Webster's
Yeah.
is fantastic though.
we would just
Yeah.
have to put some, like trigger warnings on the. Yeah,
Big
but I
time.
mean, I'm down for doing it. For sure.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah, I
I
love
want
it.
her to continue with like the way she wrote The Teacher of Nothing and The Tangle of Awful. They're not
I need
like,
to buy
actually,
those.
like a series, but it sets it up that there should be
Oh,
one
wow.
coming that's going to be like a reverse age gap with the one son and the police officer. I really want to read that. Like I want her to continue, and she wrote it like there would be a continuation.
Yeah.
So while I'm very happy to go back to the Wild and Free, I was like a little bummed that that's like her next one, because I wanted her to keep going the other area.
I do want her to keep going with that, but I am not bummed. Okay, at all. Not bummed at all.
No, I'm just Like, and then it's not going to come out until later this summer, which means even longer until we could possibly see more books in
And
that
it's
world.
not going to be the next one. The next one is going to be the brother and the therapist. It's going to be an MM, the next one. So the one that you want.
Did
Yes.
she say that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen her
At least
post
I believe
anything about it.
She said that in our group at one point, I think. So unless but it can always change. Authors change all the time as the mood comes, right? When things happen. The other one is she writes a lot with Misty Walker, and Misty just released a brand new MC romance because the one that she just on the 5th of this month, because the one that she had before, which was Thinking Awesome, she kind of narrowed the world down a little too much, and so she's writing another one where the world's bigger, so it can continue on longer. So I just ordered that book. It's on the way here. So, can't help it.
Oh, well, I just got an arc in my inbox, so that's exciting.
Ooh.
Yay!
I've been waiting for it too because the first one left off on a cliffhanger. So I'm like, when?
Yeah, I actually had a good time. At first, I know I told you guys that I was bummed because I got those audiobook things for the Off Balance series, but I actually really enjoyed it. At first, I was mad because I was like, "Where's the hot male narrator talking in Russian?" But it was nice. It was like to go back into that world and actually listen to it this time was really cool. So I had a good time with that. And she did a pretty decent job doing a Russian. I was just bummed. I wanted a hot man doing Kova's accent.
Yeah, she was supposed to have a book come out in February. There was an actual release date I read, and I was so excited, and then it's just completely disappeared, and she hasn't said a word about it.
She changed the name of it and did a few rewrites, so it is coming now. So it's not. I think it was.
Do we know when?
We even had the actual the cover and everything, and that's completely changed. It's soon. It's really.
I can't wait. Yeah. I haven't seen her post anything about it.
Soon. Yeah. She posted. What was it? A couple weeks ago.
She posts a lot, so I probably missed it. I just haven't seen anything.
Yeah. But that's the one with the cam girl, and the.
Oh yeah.
The brother's best friend.
Did she ever do a book about? That I thought she was going to do Off Balance, her best friend and brother.
That's what I was talking about. Avery
also so she's coming out with the Cam Girl book first. Avery and Xavier's story. Was supposed to be just a one-off, but I think it's going to be
a series,
maybe. I think.
She had posted about it coming out in February, so that's why I haven't seen the post about it because I'm I haven't seen anything about it.
Yeah, she completely changed the cover. She completely changed the name. It's I can see it in my head, but I can't think of it now.
Yeah,
so
it's on her website. There's information.
The Avery and Xavier book is the one I really want to read.
Yeah, everybody's been hounding her about it. Editor. I have to do my rewrites. So yeah, it's coming for sure.
Yeah,
I know. Sometimes Carrie Ann Cole is on Facebook a lot, which I appreciate interactive authors, but every once in a while in my mind, I'm could you maybe be writing? I would never say that. I'm not one of those people. But in my mind, I think that. I'm please just write more.
That's how I feel about George R. Martin. I don't know if you guys read Game of Thrones, but I get really angry. I'm stop doing side projects, writing other things. I don't care. Stop writing the history. Finish the Game of Thrones series.
Exactly.
I'm he's gonna die of a heart attack. He's just we need it finished.
It's 2.5 years later, and she still hasn't put a book out.
I'm feeling that, Andy, for sure. I need another book. I need something
but
else.
Here's the deal. I'm severely worried about going to a book signing with Mandy and Carrie Ann Cole being there and Mandy being go to work.
I would never say that. I would never say that. And I would never even jokingly post about it because I know if anybody follows Ashley Jade, The Consequences was supposed to also come out in February and it hasn't. And she's going through a divorce. She had to move across the country. She's got a lot of stuff.
Oh God.
And people have been rather mean to her. So, and it upsets
That's
her.
crazy. It's these people have personal lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like
that's
kind of
why
like with Lucia Franco, she's got her health stuff going on, and it's like I thought that was amazing that she like posted about it, like, and it's like, so we have
Yes,
to,
They
I
I
guess.
have
would never
rights.
ever actually say anything or even jokingly post about it because I wouldn't want it
No,
taken the wrong way.
Mandy would just be drooling on the table.
I
and we'd
probably
have to,
wouldn't
like,
even be able to speak.
I
no,
love her
she'd make
writing.
me.
I cannot wait for another book from her. That will
Yeah.
definitely be on our buddy read of the month whenever that
Yes.
comes.
Whatever that is.
Well, I'll
Yeah, I saw a
probably-
couple of you guys post about the do the no tomorrow in your video, and I've never read that because I was like nervous because
It
I
was
heard
good
it's like
too.
so like angsty, and so I'm like, I guess I gotta add that
No,
and read
Tomorrow
it.
is it's phenomenal.
I
Blue.
have it
Okay.
right here next to Birthday
Heaven.
Girl. So it has to be good if it can sit
Yeah.
by Birthday Girl.
If it's my
Oh,
birthday.
is that the one where you freaked out about the cover being messed up too on the video?
Yeah.
That was Don't Kiss the Bride. There was like a picture
Oh,
of
that was it.
But didn't both Jen and Mandy have
Lucky.
Lucky from Don't Kiss the Bride?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or no
Yeah.
tomorrow, right?
No,
Or no, I
Don't
thought
Kiss
you
the
guys
Bride.
both had no tomorrow. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, Don't Kiss the Bride. Yeah,
I
but
was
still,
like,
I mean,
That's awesome because I was wondering if any of us were going to have any crossovers.
mhm.
Of course, it would be me and Mandy.
Mhm.
Okay, wait, but Jen, you said that you got two of them right that Mandy and I chose. Do you remember what they were?
Yeah,
mine's easy.
I knew it was going to be Pike for her. I mean, like,
Yeah,
Mhm.
we all
that
knew
was a
that.
given. Just
Yeah.
like everybody knows Kova's going to be on mine.
Yeah.
And then yours, I didn't know the name, but I knew it was going to be that Talia Reid book, ATN or whatever.
ATN.
Yeah. So I was
Yeah.
like, I knew that was going to be yours
Yeah.
for sure. I was like, that guy has to be on it. I don't know who it is, but I know the book.
I
Like,
don't
One of
know
them will
who.
have him.
a trilogy or something. Like, I know that guy is going to
Yes.
be on it. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
sure.
Big Daddy ATN. Yeah. So
So I got to read that book. I got to read those books.
yes.
That's
Yes.
that's on the list.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Closing
Okay.
thoughts.
I think we've had.
We'll
it.
just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
All right.
going in the right direction here.
We this was fun. We'll do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll do it again next month. We'll put the info out as soon as we have it.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. So yay.
All right.
Thanks for joining us.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for all your comments.
Thanks.
Appreciate
Yes.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll
yay.
see you next time.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.